What if I told you that the key to dominating Monte Carlo's icy terrain is a setup specifically created and tested for the snow and ice? Today I am fixing a big mistake by bundling all tarmac locations into one setup. I challenged myself to create a dedicated setup for Monte Carlo in just 2 days, fulfilling a viewer's request. So don't miss out on this game-changing setup. It guarantees stability both at the bottom and top of the hill. Stick around to discover the crucial adjustments you need for maximum control on the ice. Some of the things that you need to remember when it comes to ice is that being smooth on your throttle, brake and steering inputs is crucial. The technique I use when I hit that ice is I will pump the brake rather than holding the brake. Pumping the brake will just allow you to not lock the wheels. Here is an example of a real life rally driver pumping brakes, just so you can get an idea of how it's done. Also for Monte Carlo, a lot of these hairpins that you'll be facing are quite open and long. I'd advise not to use the handbrake as much as you would on a normal hairpin. If your co-driver tells you it's a hairpin and it tightens, pull that handbrake. If it's open, take a normal racing line as you would if you was on a circuit. When you are on the icy areas, be aggressive with the steering wheel, as we want that car to turn. If you experience any understeer, get that steering wheel straight again and try and get it to steer with the brakes. If you do experience understeer, put your wheel straight again. By turning it more, you're just going to emphasise that understeer more. In the slower corners on the ice, use your handbrake a bit. Get the rear of the car out. It is weirdly enough faster than trying to wait for the grip to come for the car to turn in. Now, just a couple of things before we move on with this video. If this video does help you in any way, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also join my Discord to join up with other like-minded racers. All the links will be in the description. Now, I do have one favour to ask for you. I've been looking around for ages to try and find how to show my telemetry, so my inputs, just so you can get a better understanding of what I'm trying to explain when we go through these setup videos. So if you do know a way of doing it, please let me know. I've tried SimHub and I can't get that to work. I've tried other overlay apps, but there is nothing for WRC yet. So if you do know a way, again, just let me know. Now we're going to get into the setup side of things. So for our alignment, we're not going to be as aggressive, just because being on the ice, we want it stable. So we're going to leave the front and rear toe angles neutral, and then our front camber -2, our rear camber -1.8. Braking can be another subjective one. I just feel that a higher brake pressure helps slowing the car down at the bottom of the hill. But if we pair a higher brake pressure with a more neutral brake bias, we can use the brake to turn the car as well. If we hit the icy corner and we turn the wheel in and we get understeer, we can then use the brakes more to try and get that rear to rotate round. The diff we will be using it is fairly neutral in terms of cornering traction and straight line traction. Just a neutral one works the best. If you do struggle though, move your driving locks to the right 1 click, 2 clicks. Move your braking lock down 1 or 2 clicks. We haven't done any fancy things with our gears. We've just lowered the final drive to 0.135. With our dampening again, we've gone quite neutral on this. I'm not going to explain it too much. I'm going to give you a link to a file that I have created just to help you with a bit more of a basic understanding of how the setups work. That will be linked in the description. Feel free to use it. Then last but not least, we move on to our suspension. For this, I know it's asphalt and we would normally run lowest ride heights we can, but because we're dealing with a dry surface to a wet and icy surface, I've gone with sort of a forward rake. So the front is lower than the rear. We've got quite soft springs, and also we've got quite loose anti-roll bars. But all in all, this is a great suspension profile for getting the car to do what you need it to do. This setup has only been tried out on a steering wheel. I haven't tried it out on controller, so I do not know. So you have any controller players, please give me feedback, let me know what you think. And that is your new setup for Monte Carlo. You can still use the other setup I did for all the tarmac stages. Some people are still having success with it, so it does still work. I just feel like you guys deserved better and had a dedicated setup for Monte Carlo. So again, if this has helped or made your experience of the location any better, do let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And until the next time, I will see you soon. If you're struggling with Portugal, I have a setup on your left. If you want a playlist for all the setups I have done, click on the right.